Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I do hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. You probably noticed we had a small update today. That's the new European cities update. Oops, what is that aircraft doing? We also got a new aircraft, which is this one here. As you can see, the Cessna 207A station air aircraft with a collab that's between Coronado and Microsoft itself. Cheapest chips cost me £12.49 from the marketplace for Xbox and PC. It's about $15 or the equivalent in your own currency. It's a classic dial aircraft with lots of variants which I'll be talking about in this video. Yeah, and I'll be giving you my thoughts and a quick review on it. Is it worth you picking up another Cessna aircraft? Well listen, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. Okay, so I've set myself up at London City Airport, Hoddesdon International, as usual, runway 27. This is the Orbix version 2 London City. From visiting here in real life, it's very, very accurate to London City. It's probably, yeah, it's definitely the most accurate representation we have in the sim at the moment. Anyway, we're concentrating on this aircraft. Before I go further with this review, let me just show you something on screen there. You get three different variants of the 207A. You get a passenger variant, a cargo variant, which I'm flying here, and you get a skydiving variant. Is that true to real life? Well, it must be, I expect. Within each of those variants, you get various different liveries as well. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck here. Typically, when these famous flyers, or goodness knows what, come out for this kind of price range, you don't get as much as you do here. It's nice to see Coronado and Asobo and Microsoft. Yeah, I was quite impressed with that, just how much you do get. Let's take that off screen. As we're in external mode, let me show you some of this 3D modeling. As you can see, this is very nice indeed. Lots of weathering going on there and textures, nice textures. All the nuts and bolts are very visible, as you can see. Now obviously I'm flying the Xbox Aviators, or the Xbox livery here. As you can see, just zooming around here in external mode. Yeah, very nice, isn't it? No complaints there. It's actually bordering on a sort of more expensive payware aircraft level, this. Which is great. Let's jump into the cockpit. If you're familiar with the 182RG, you're going to be right at home with this one. Classic dial aircraft. If you're a lover of classic dial aircraft, you're gonna absolutely love this one. Let's just remove the yoke there so we can see. Slightly different looking, but if we come down here, doesn't that look very familiar? 182RG owners, very familiar, hey? And no complaints. Remember, this is something like going on for a third of the price that the 182RG came out as originally. You've got, I believe this is the GNS 530, you've got an ADF panel here and an autopilot panel here. Using my multi-panel, let's set an autopilot for 1200 feet. Still in my autopilot, multi-panel there. I'm just going to move my heading bug round to my current heading, because I'll be utilising that to show you it's working. You've got this sort of old-fashioned ADF VORs and goodness knows what. EGT reading it over here. That's very nice, isn't it? I'm going to say the texture in there. Remember the price of this as well. $12.49, $15 or the equivalent in your own currency. Rather impressed with that. Look at that. It's like a well-used aircraft, doesn't it? And we'll come around to the back there. Cargo variant. Cargo in the back. Look at this. Just a small detail, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it to have this kind of fidelity, to be honest, at this price range. Close that up. So there you go, just give you a quick tour. With the passenger variant, you get 3 rows of seats, I believe. Skydiving one, I've not actually tried that. I've tried the passenger variant. There you go, windows and doors here. And this one, the cargo variant. Doors does open, yep, just making sure. We'll close them back up as you would expect. So there you go. I mean, it looks slightly different. You got this bar on the front here as well with the cargo variant. Slightly different in those terms, and it does handle very differently, as I'm going to show you, to the other Cessnas that you have. Also here you got a digital fuel readout, which is nice to see. Transponder down here as well. Put the yoke back in. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll take her up for a test flight. Okie dokie, pig and a pokey. League of Gentlemen fans, you'll get that reference. Throttle up, release the parking brake. Be careful when taking off, it can get a bit squiggly, and it can get a bit squiggly on landing as well. This is where the differences lie. I can only assume this is accurate to the real thing. It's quite a nice, unique sound set as well. Hopefully you can hear some of that over my natural. There you go. Be careful when taking off. It does like to bring you off that runway if you don't have your feet on your rudder pedals there, or your hands on your rudder, depending which one you use. Okay, we've got a positive rate of climb. Just bring back my throttle to 90% there. Autopilot and heading mode selected. All works fine. I'm just using my multi-panel. You can do it down here as well if you don't have a multi-panel. And we're climbing nicely. What are we climbing at? Just checking my multi-panel. Oh, 1,100 feet. Let's bring it back down to 1,000. 130 knots, 90% throttle engaged. 130 knots in the climb at 1,000 feet per minute. Creeping up to that 140, isn't it? It's a nippy little aircraft. It's somewhere between the speeds of a 172 and the 182. Somewhere in between those speeds. At 90-80% throttle, well, I'll try and get us into cruise. Let's just bring my altitude down to 1,000, and we'll just let it settle at 1,000 feet. And then we'll see. So I've got it at 90% engaged throttle. And, you know, you can do the proper thing, manifolds with the RPM and goodness knows what. I'm just going to leave it there just to see what speed it will reach. There we go, 140. It'll probably climb up to around 150-ish from testing. So yeah, you're going to get from A to B in no time, aren't you? Let's just take it off autopilot. A bit of manual handling here. Yeah, feels as nice as any other Cessna you've flown in the air. Feels very similar, I've got to say, to the Grand Caravan. Or the 182. More akin, this one, to the Grand Caravan. It might be because it's the cargo variant. Just very much... Oh, I don't know, 182. Somewhere between the 182 and Grand Caravan in terms of its handling there. I'm just going to bring back my throttle again. I'm going back towards 60 now. 60% engaged throttle. Because I'm going to turn her around, and you do have to bring that throttle back when lining up for an approach. So I'll bank around. Don't want to go too high now, so let's just keep an eye on my vertical rate of climb there. Vertical speed. I don't want to descend, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that. Just doing all this manually. Keep her around there. And just bring back that throttle again. Because even at 50%, it's not getting towards that flaps range, which is where I want to be around now. So I'm going to bring it back to around here. Even though you should really do this while you're banking, it's okay. Don't panic, it's a simulator. There we go. And you know what? 30% throttle just to bring that speed down. She does like to zoom ahead, this one. Just be aware of it when you're coming into landing. You want to land this one slow. Now, I've had a couple of landings and they've both been bouncy. So I can't promise. This is something... Yeah, this is where the uniqueness of this aircraft comes in. Stage 1 flaps. Flaps levers down here, but I've just used my multi-panel for that. Just for ease. because my hands are close to it. Yeah, I put the 182RG review that I did down below in the description, by the way, just so you can go and compare. That's pricier than this one, and it's something I'm going to pertain to in my conclusion once I've landed, hopefully successfully. I'm going to put another stage of flaps in, because I know from experience with this one, nice and slow coming in. Oh, come on, Hodgson, don't make this one so bouncy. It's good to see that the scenery is holding up around me. I was having a few photogrammetry issues, not just here, in other areas as well. I will try and get, maybe, if my internet holds up, a city update live stream. I do like to do live stream when city updates and world updates drop. Maybe, chaps, because a lot busy time of year, so I thought I would get this video out for you at least. London wasn't in the European city updates. What a shame. But at least the update went through smoothly this time. Let me know your experiences with this update down below. And very quick and smooth for me. Bringing back that speed. Like I said, I know from experience where I want to be on this. Get to around 60, that'll be great. If I can bring it back as I just decrease my altitude here. And I'm gonna floater. I'm gonna floater for as long as possible. Get my feet on my rudder pedals, because she does like to bounce this one. Can I get even then, a little bit of a bounce, but not too bad. Listen, when I did my first two landings, I was bouncing a lot on this one. I'll just bring her off and raise my flaps, and then give you my conclusion on this one. There we go, that will do. Just keep rolling a little bit. I'm not in a live server, it doesn't matter. Okay, so recommendations. Do I recommend this one? £12.49, €15, or the equivalent. Yes, I do indeed. Even if you do own other Cessna aircraft. A couple of people were saying there in the Discord, well, at least one person, David, was saying, do I need another Cessna? It feels different. It behaves differently when you're taking off and landing. It's a bit more of a challenge. And it's a bit more of a bush plane, this one as well, especially if you're using that cargo variant. You're going to feel right at home if you like to do bush flights. It's different enough to warrant a buy for me, and it's a nice feeling aircraft as well. If you don't own the 182RG, if that was too expensive for you, here you go. It's got quite a similar feel, but different characteristics, a little bit more tricky, this one. Doesn't have that retractable gear as well. Can't say more. For the price, absolutely, Xbox and PC owners, get on this one and buy it. But do let me know your thoughts below. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. And I'll be seeing you very soon.